Alright, episode 4, The Right Path. Yeah, really liked what they did with Daniel's story arc in this episode. He goes to Okinawa and he just sort of finds out that times have changed, it's been 30 years and things are kind of different now. I actually wasn't really sort of finding his whole thing with struggling with the car dealership that interesting, but then I realised, it's a way to get him to Okinawa so they can, pay homage to the stuff from Karate Kid Part 2. Kimono is there, and we just find out a lot of stuff about what happened with her and her mother after the events of Karate Kid 2. The scene with Mr Miyagi's letters is just fantastic. Even without the actor being around anymore to reprise his role in this series, we still get some stuff from him and find out some stuff about him and what he was doing in between the events of, Karate Kid, or next Karate Kid, I guess, and this series. That's definitely something I want to see a lot more from this show, just filling in the gaps of what happened between the events of the film and this series starting, letting us know where characters were emotionally or what they were doing with, their life, their relationship with other people. And these letters really do a great job, I think, of filling in the gaps there. Daniel just sort of learning this lesson that things do not stay the same, even in Okinawa. Probably isn't really any closer to saving his car business than he was at the start of this episode, but he probably feels fairly satisfied that the trip was worth it because he's found out all this stuff about Mr Miyagi and his life, and that he sounded like he was pretty content up until the end. I don't think we've been told up until this point exactly how he died or if, it was expected or not or anything. It's probably not important. But I do find it interesting that they have the date of his death, or the year of his death, on his grave that you see in Season 1 as 2011, when the actor died in 2005. So that's probably quite a sort of deliberate thing that they've done to sort of, for reasons, that are yet to come into light. Maybe they've got something planned, some sort of flashback with him, or, some double playing him, and maybe his relationship with Daniel or Amanda or Sam or something that we're going to see at some point. Probably not this season, but you never know. And then Chosen shows up at the very end of the episode. Meanwhile, back in California, you've got Grease continuing to teach the Cobra Kai students. Hawk is definitely emerging as the leader of that group, and they've now developed a bit of a rivalry with, I guess, the former Miyagi-Do students. Oddly enough, their fighting sort of ensues in a soccer match for some reason. I'm not quite sure why they chose that as a setting, but there you go. Dimitri definitely sort of coming into his own now and definitely standing up for himself a lot more with fighting the Cobra Kai students and not being afraid really to just stand up, talk and say what he really thinks. I mean, obviously we saw that at the end of Season 2. I mean, obviously he knows Hawk a lot better than he knows a lot of the other Cobra Kai students, so that would make sense. I'd be interested to see him stand up to some of the other students at some point and see how he fares with that, because I guess he feels a bit more confident trying to intimidate Hawk because he actually sort of knows him a lot better. And there's a bit more of a sort of relationship, I think, developing now between him and Sam. Sam getting increasingly frustrated that Miyagi-Do has sort of ended. For the first 2 seasons, she's sort of been a bit of a sop. She's been a bit of a waterworks, maybe is the right word to use there. She's been sort of feeling sorry for herself and constantly feeling she's been the victim of circumstance. This season, though, she's been a lot more angry about what's been going on. So I think I prefer her character like that. Just for the record, I'm not a massive fan of Sam, just in general, but I think I'm liking her a lot more this season because she's quite sort of angry about the situation that Daniel has put her in by ending Miyagi-Do. We've got Johnny trying to reconnect with Robbie. I got to be honest, I'm getting a bit tired of Johnny just going to Robbie and constantly getting rejected. This whole sort of story arc with their relationship, it has to progress at some point and become something more than just Robbie being angry at Johnny for constantly, not being there for him as he was growing up. Obviously, I understand why Robbie's angry. He probably blames Johnny a little bit for what's happened to him and why he's in juvie at the moment. But I guess it's in there maybe as a further just sort of justification for why Johnny would be more motivated to go back to Miguel and try and reconnect with him. And I like that he just goes back to him. It's not any kind of Miguel saying, "Where's Johnny? I want to talk to him," or even Carmen going to him and saying, "Miguel needs you," or anything like that. Johnny just does it himself. He just says, "Fuck it, I care about this kid. I'm going to do what I can to help him to walk again. And it looks like Miguel's accepted that, and it looks like he's going to teach him to walk again. I imagine he's probably going to succeed. Be a bit of a tragic sort of end for Miguel if he just wasn't walking again for the whole of the rest of the series, but who knows. Yeah, there probably isn't going to be much point to whole Johnny reconnecting with Miguel by trying to get him to walk again if he isn't actually ultimately successful in doing that. So yeah, just some interesting more sort of character stuff with Johnny, Dimitri in particular, and I think a little bit Sam. But yeah, the main meat of this episode was definitely Daniel and Okinawa, and just some more stuff about Mr Miyagi and finding out about him, and also Kimono and what she's been up to in the last 30 years. I find it weird that she actually recognised Daniel, given that it's been 30 years, but I don't know, maybe she's seen pictures of him online or something. He has been like in car advertisements, and that he does have a connection to Japan with that car dealership, I guess, so maybe she has seen pictures of him. But yeah, that's about it. That is the episode, and I'm looking forward to the next one where we're going to meet Chosen again. And maybe they're going to have a fight. I'll see you again next episode, guys. See ya.